Hello, welcome to my demonstration how to fit the new wires on the Overton Engineering soap cutting machine. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to deliberately cut one of the wires and replace it and show you how it's done. You will need a pair of pliers for the purpose of the job, and I'm going to use these to cut the wire. So we'll pretend now that this wire has broken, which indeed it is. So the first thing we need to do, you'll notice I'm keeping that wire out of the way because the end is sharp. We need to remove the broken part of wire from the anchor screw using the 4mm Allen key and the 10mm combination spanner. Hold the screw with the Allen key and loosen the nut beneath with the spanner. We need this screw to be fairly loose so that the wire will simply come out. You will notice the loop on that wire is very nice. That's what we're going to be aiming for later. We discard that broken piece of wire, and on the other end, which is the winch screw with the 5mm Allen key this time and the spanner below again, we loosen this screw just a little bit so that we can turn it easily. And we also need to remove the broken piece of wire, which we manoeuvre through the hole, and we discard that broken piece of wire as well. Now we need to prepare this winch screw for replacing the wire. This is too loose, it's turning very easily, so I'm going to just tighten that a little bit so that it turns, but with some resistance. Now we're ready, this screw is nice and loose, we're ready to fit the new wire. So catch hold of your new wire. You'll notice one end has got a loop, the other end is plain. And we thread the wire through the drilling in the winch screw and pull it right the way through until the loop is nicely snugly in the hole. Having done that, we need to form a loop on the end of the wire to fit onto the other screw, and we do this with our pliers. You don't have to be too fussy about this, just get hold of the wire, just a little bit showing through the wire pliers, and twist it over into a hook. That should just about be alright. Then at the other end of the frame we put the wire under the screw with it in line with the slot. The hook is then manoeuvred under the screw so that it is captured by the screw. Hold the screw down with your finger for the moment. Get your 4mm Allen key and hold that down into the screw to hold the wire in position. Keep the pressure down and the wire will stay there, and tighten the nut below. Just satisfy yourself that the cable's underneath the screw head properly and in the groove, and give that nut a reasonable tighten. It doesn't have to be mega tight, but just tighten it up nice and firmly, and that is now held firmly. Now we go to the other end, to the winch screw, and you'll notice the wire has slid out slightly. Don't worry about that, pull it back in, make sure that it's engaged all the way, and then with your 5mm Allen key and holding the cable with one hand, turn in a clockwise direction so that the wire is wrapped around the head of the screw. You will notice the loop coming round. Just tuck the wire underneath that as it goes, make sure it stays in position, and tighten it up nice and gently. Check that the wire is in the slot both ends and tighten it up until you hear a little note of that sort. This is now tight enough. Hold the Allen key in that position and with the spanner below tighten the nut. Doesn't have to be super duper tight, just nice and nipped. And that is then done. Easy peasy. Good luck.